Welcome to CSN The Network Podcast. This is your host, Kayvon Cutler, with my lovely co-host, Dre Nazario and Malik Hampton. How are y'all doing this evening?
Doing good, man. How you guys?
Gang, gang, gang. Welcome back, gang. I'm good. I'm blessed and highly favored. You know how that go. How you doing, brother?
Likewise. Blessed and highly favored. Better now that I'm talking to you two. I know it's been a while. You know what I mean? A lot has transpired over this past little month and a half that we haven't been recording, but, it's all good, man. Divine delay, like my mother liked to say. You know what I'm saying? So, first and foremost, definitely want to, salute to the fam and say RIP to Trayton. Definitely want to tip my hat to the bro and, tip my hat to Malik. You know what I'm saying? His squad beat us last night. We'll be talking about that here in a bit. But we had to take a little break from content just for, personal reasons. A couple of us got sick. And then, a couple of us had some other things going on, but we back now. The podcast is never going to stop. We all real tight, you know what I mean? Nothing is going on amongst us. There's no Joe Budden vibes going on, you know what I'm saying? We're not having creative differences. Like I said, it's just some stuff going on, and we just took a little break, but that won't ever happen again where we take a break that long at all. So we just about to, come back to giving y'all weekly, consistent, good content. And with that said, man, let's get it.
Let's get it. First up, we got college football. It wrapped earlier this month with your boys taking the L. Talk about that.
Yeah, we Alabama. For those that may not know, I'm an Alabama fan. Die hard. That's a team that's near and dear to my heart. Only because, just to give y'all background, when I was a young bull, one of my favorite football players was DJ Hall. He was a utility player, all SEC back in the day. He went to Alabama like 02 to like 05. So they weren't that good back then. You know what I mean? So when they became good, when Coach Saban came and changed the program around, I was like, that's why I go so hard for Bama, because it's like, man, a squad that was down and out, that wasn't that good, that's a powerhouse now, that created a dynasty over these, X amount of years that Coach Saban has been there. It's just a blessing to witness, the ups and the downs, and I'm definitely gonna ride it out. Roll Tide, always. But University of Georgia defeated the University of Alabama in the national championship earlier this month. I'm sure we're all aware of that. It was a great season by my guys, but the fourth quarter, Georgia just took over, man. It's a very talented team. Malik can attest to this. He's real big into recruiting. That other than Alabama, I can honestly say and vouch that Georgia is one of the, top schools that get a lot of the top recruits, a lot of the, five-star recruits. So I say that to say, man, that defense really just kicked it into gear in the fourth quarter. They picked off my boy Bryce Young. We couldn't really score. They just ran it up on us. He had Stetson Bennett looking a little better than, what I believe he actually is. But, I don't take anything away from them. Of course, I was hurt that we lost. But, Coach Smart and Malik can tell y'all, that's one of my favorite coaches personally, because it was one of the longest tenured assistant coaches with Coach Saban at Alabama. So I just love and appreciate him and respect him for his loyalty. I think he's a great defensive coach, a great defensive mind. Like I said, I'm not mad. I don't hold any, discrepancies or any hard feelings towards Georgia. I tip my hat to them. They had a great season. I just wish we were healthy, but Malik knows, it's a blessing to be healthy at this time of the year when it's championship season. It's hard in football, so we can't even use that as an excuse. We got beat fair and square. So, yeah. What you think, Leek?
I think that it was a good college season. I would say probably the better team possibly won this matchup, but it's hard to really say just because like how prepared Nick Saban had Alabama. I truly believe if your boy Jameson Williams don't get hurt, that Bama probably still wins the game. Because at least Bryce Young has a target, you know what I'm saying, that actually the main target that Georgia was keyed in on, you know what I'm saying, he was on his way to 100 yards, you know. I think that if he would have stayed in the game, Alabama would have won. I also think that it's just inexperience, you know. Y'all had a couple like young corners and stuff out there. I know a couple other people had got hurt. The one corner, they had tested him like 2 times in a row, like, you know what I'm saying, on the same drive. You know, I don't think if he was, I don't know if he was just, you know, expected not to get picked on again or what, you know, but they came like right back to him, and they actually made the touchdown catch. You know, just a one-on-one good, you know, just making a play over the next guy. But I mean, Kirby Smart finally did it. I guess I got to stop talking trash about him, you know, because he finally won him one. It's just luck of the draw, man. You know, I can say whatever I want about injuries, but, you know, it's definitely part of the game, you know. So, but he went down. Georgia took advantage. You know, Bryce Young didn't really have too many guys he could rely on. Those guys will be good, though, for sure, probably this next year or the year after. So, I mean,
It's tough.
it's not nothing too much to hold your head down about. But, yeah. It was just a good season, man. Georgia finally got him one. If Kirby wouldn't have won this one after having, you know, one of the most dominant teams start to finish, it would have been hard to see in the future where he could have won one. But I mean, I can say that as well. But, you know, with the transfer portal and, you know, money going around with the NILs now, like you can probably build you a college football roster, you know. So shout out to everybody who's in the playoffs. Shout out to everybody that, you know, played college football this season. I enjoy it. I can't wait. You know, I literally count this stuff down. I don't want to give a shout out to Georgia at all. You know, I don't like Georgia. So, you know, but, you know, respect to them guys. They finally got one. It's been since 1980, man. So it's been like 40-something years. You know, it was their time to finally win one. Shout out to Georgia, I guess, man.
Shout out to Georgia. Congratulations to those guys. You know, on a great college football season. With that being said, if you guys don't have anything else to add, we'll jump right into the NFL.
Do it.
Let's do it. Last night we had I guess you could say a banger on paper. The Bengals defeated the Chiefs 27-24. I kind of watched that game. It was a little wacky to me. It was a little wacky game. But yeah, give us y'all's insight on that one.
The Bengals and Chiefs game. That game kind of went like the first one went, honestly. If anybody paid attention to the regular season, the Chiefs kind of jumped out on them a little bit. Couple big plays. Specifically in the regular season, Jamar Chase like sprinted, you know, for like 80 yards, you know, to start that little comeback. But it was a good game, though. Overall, good game. I think the Chiefs were doing exactly what they were supposed to do in that first half, just being patient. You know, Mahomes just basically, you know, just taking what he needed to all the way down the field. You know, they was having a tough time, you know, stopping it. The Bengals already have a shaky offensive line, so I wasn't surprised, you know, for the struggles early, you know, and KC getting a little pressure. But just to tell the two halves, man, like I said, the Chiefs played good the first half, but I do think they got greedy right there, right before halftime, and that's probably the difference of the ball game. You know, a lot of people have that criticism of, you know, just Andy Reid, period. You know, I mean, of course, Mahomes and the team gets it. But this is just the Andy Reid thing. A lot of people think he gets a lot, flashy at times, and that was just another example right there. I think they were inside the 5-yard line with like 11 seconds or something like that, and couldn't get in. Actually didn't even get to get a field goal off before half. Good deed for the Bengals though. That the play before half. They did the famous pick route, but the Bengals were ready for it and just switched it off. That next play, like I said, just them being greedy, Mahomes trying to make a play and them just running something super extra that probably you could have simplified. I know they got their way of running things, but at that point when you're right there at the 1 or whatever yard line, you want to do something quick, especially right before half when you can extend the lead. And, I know them just being a little cocky. They're thinking like, they ain't going to stop us. We're doing what we want. Ain't too many adjustments they can make that we won't, be able to overcome. And it just, backfired. Second half come, Bengals dig in. I don't even think the Chiefs had 100 yards of total offense in that second half, if I'm not mistaken. Like the Bengals pass rush got, a little bit better. And for some reason, Mahomes just wasn't, I don't know if it wasn't there or he wasn't taking it, but it looked like he reverted back to his old ways, kind of got impatient, started trying to push it down the field a little more as the Bengals were gaining ground instead of just checking it down, And then he ends up throwing 2 costly picks, one to a defensive lineman, trying to do something extra on the play, and then that one right there in overtime at the end. That was a bad throw as well. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Jesse Bates made a hell of a play though, being safety. You got to cover that much ground, run with Tyreek. Stay over top. That's really why they got the turnover there. So good play from Jesse Bates. But I mean, yeah, it was just tell it 2 halves. Like I said, I think the Chiefs got impatient, a little sloppy, and just the turnovers. They just reverted back to that KC we seen the first few weeks. You know what I'm saying? Where people were saying they wasn't patient, and it was costing them. And people ain't even think they was gonna make playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Let alone win the division. They corrected it. Mahomes started checking down, taking what they could. They definitely had an easier schedule. In the meat part of the schedule. But yeah, just reverted back to their old flashy ways, man, and it cost them. But on the Bengals side, I want to give a shout out to Joe Burrow and them. Just the defense has been playing well. You know what I'm saying, since towards the latter part of the season. They had to run off a few there at the end to win their division. Their division was close, coming down all the way to the wire almost. So, they just locked in, looked like a focused team. The offensive line, it's so crazy because the offensive line really isn't that good, but Joe Mixon is that, Joe Mixon is good and, he can make plays. So he kind of, troubleshoots that a little bit. And then he's just got Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, man, he's always locked in, man. I respect Joe Burrow a lot, just seeing him play in the SEC and actually being, one of the teams that beat him. A lot of people talk about, that legendary run he had his senior year, but that first year wasn't all roses at LSU. You know what I'm saying? If anybody knows, you would have never thought Joe Burrow was going to win the Heisman or be where he at right now. You know what I'm saying? Based off that first season. So him putting the work in, man, just second year in the league, second full season, and they off to the Super Bowl is just great, man. Like he's so calm and poised, even with the offensive line. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows exactly where to go with the ball. And, he's got a flux of receivers too, man. I like them all, to be honest with you. I like Jamar Chase, I like Tyler Boyd, and I like T. Higgins. T. Higgins was the one they needed to have the big game yesterday, and he came up big. I think he had like 6 or 7 catches over 100 yards. So shout out to him. Yeah, the Bengals, that was just a gritty win, man. I want to, I thoroughly enjoyed watching that game. You know what I'm saying? I know Dree said it was kind of, wacky to her. Yeah, the first half was possibly, if you watch the first half, you was probably bored up until like right before halftime, you know what I'm saying? When you realize that it was still a game, Uh, but yeah, it was a good game, man. I enjoyed it. Shout out to the Bengals, man. That's gonna be a team, that's gonna be somebody the AFC specifically got to deal with, for a nice bit of years to come, man. So shout out to them. Look forward to seeing them in the Super Bowl.
Shout out to the Bengals. What you got to add, Kay?
Yeah, man, bro hit it right on the head, in reference to, how the Chiefs basically sold. They had that game, let's just call it spade a spade. It was a tale of two halves, like he said, definitely would have liked to see them get 3 points. That play call at the end of the first half was interesting. Just because Tyreek, he tried to hit that spin move on Eli Apple, he got him down, half is over, you know what I mean? I would have liked to see, once he noticed he wouldn't be able to make a play to get in, maybe try to get out of bounds. But I realized like it wasn't that much time left. So I know that's a lot to consider. So, if you want to take a gamble, why not take a gamble in the end zone? Why run something, outside of the end zone where you could kill time and then now you can't even kick a field goal, right? So that's my only thing about that. But yeah, I really I was laughing when Malik was talking because he knows the school Joe Burrow got his ring from, me being a Bama fan, I'm not going to state that institution's name. However, I wasn't a believer in college, but he's definitely made me a believer with him in the league. This is the value of, great quarterback play. You know what I mean? And I know we're not talking about the Niners, but, here soon, we're about to. And, I share a different opinion as, other Niner fans when it comes to elite QB play, because I feel like that's what, kind of helped the Rams separate themselves. But in reference to, the Chiefs and the Bengals, the league is going to be in great hands for years. Joe Burrow is 25, Patrick Mahomes is 26. This is a matchup we can potentially see for years to come. Plus, Josh Allen is young still. I want to say he's 25. So it's like, the AFC has a lot of good quarterbacks that's up and coming, that's young. Excuse me, not even up and coming, that's young. Lamar Jackson included. Malik and I both like Justin Herbert. You know what I mean? That's another gunslinger. So I like the AFC future-wise. But, back to the game, Joe Burrow, man, he was just willing and dealing in that second half, man. T. Higgins, for those that remember him at Clemson, man, he transitioned in the league and is doing similar things, man, being a big target, a consistent guy. Like Bo said, he had over 6 catches for over 100 yards. Jamar Chase balled. He scored yesterday. So I like their skill position. You know what I mean? It's going to be interesting to see how that line fares in the Super Bowl. But defensively, man, they're clicking. They hot right now. They're going to be riding this wave because they just stopped one of the, most prolific offenses in the league. So we're going to see what happens in the bowl. But yeah, man, Joe Burrow, I like how cool he is. How he keeps his poise in the pocket. I like how accurate he is. That's one thing that sticks out to me the most. Because Malik could tell y'all, I really didn't watch him in college like that due to the school he went to, because they were our rivals. But seeing him in the league, man, he's definitely official. Definitely a great player. Like I said, man, you see what the value of elite quarterback play can take you. I want to say, Malik, that was what, 2-14 2 years ago? Got the #1 pick. Now they in the Super Bowl. Like, come on, man. Come on. It wasn't supposed to happen this fast. So, I tip my hat to Joe Burrow and the Bengals organization and the team.
Word. Shout out to the Bengals. Moving on to the NFC Championship. Rams get the Niners 20-17. Also, to me, I don't know. I'll let you guys, handle it and talk about it. But we'll start with you, Kay.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, the faithful, which is what they call the Niner fans, we was riding in extremely comfortable. You know, there had been rumors that more Niner fans had purchased tickets than Rams fans. So I thought, you know, we was going to be able to, you know, rat it out again like we did when we played them in Week 18. But man, it was a great game. Great game. They struck first and scored first, and we came back and tied it with Debo. And you know, it was a good back and forth game. You know, I've been reading just different stuff today, just to hear different opinions of, you know, people that are fans of, you know, the Niners or certain players on our team and our coach. You know, they do feel like there was some questionable play calls. Let's be specific here. You know, that 4th and 2 that people are talking about, where they said he should have went for it, right? Okay, a lot of people don't realize. Okay, if we go for it in 4th and 2, that was in the 4th quarter. We was barely past the 50 in the Rams territory. So if we don't get that off rip, you know, Malik knows football is a game of chess. So why would we give up field position when our defense have been holding us down? You know what I mean? Our defense have been playing good. I'm not against that call. So boom, all right. That happened on 4th and 2. Literally, boom, the first play on offense for the Rams was that dropped interception by Jaquaski Tart. So I hear y'all when y'all be like, you know, we should have went for it, you know, take a gamble. But it's like, no, our defense has been holding us down. And if Bro made that play, the defense would have continued to hold us down. Because, all right, let me continue to tell y'all what happened. All right, right after that dropped interception, Odell caught a 30-yard pass. Boom, Jimmy Ward hit him in the head. Boom, hit, helmet to helmet. Tackle.
45 yards.
45-yard play right after that. That happened right after that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Malik. Y'all got points off that possession. So, you know, it's like I said, there was definitely some things to question. But, you know, overall, I think the team played great. Our defense played great. But like I said in the last segment, man, you know, and this isn't, you know, come down on Jimmy G hour whatsoever. Jimmy played with a messed up thumb on his throwing hand, a strained shoulder on his throwing shoulder. So he definitely toughed it out and led us, you know, on this deep playoff run. You know, we coming off a 4-game win streak prior to this loss we just had. So he had been playing great. It was just there was a couple plays that he missed during the game. You know what I mean? I don't want to nitpick, but
nutted up.
You said what?
I said he definitely nutted up.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's where names are made. You know, so yes, I'm sick that we lost, but you know, I'm in a way I'm glad that things played out the way they did, only because that's how I want to go out. You know what I mean? I don't want to go out on a missed field goal or, you know, them scoring a touchdown with no seconds left, like, you know, like the Chiefs did the Bills, even though it wasn't like that scenario per se with 0 seconds left. But, you know, I want to, you know, Kels and I, Malik, you know, we love Jimmy. You know, we've seen Jimmy have a lot of success. He has a very high winning percentage. So I wanted to see one more time if he could drive us down and get that touchdown. And that happened. Okay, that's the cards we dealt. If that's how we're going to go out, that's how we go out. You know what I mean? But I do want to say, you know, if he had missed the first drive, he had missed George Kittle right up the seam. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that would have been a touchdown, but there was another possession where he missed Brandon Ayuk. Boom, he ran a post right. He wide open over the middle back. Jimmy checked it down. I know that's, you know, something he probably talked about with coach. And I know, you know, if it's not there, because that's something he talked about in his press conferences consistently, was just learning when to take that shot and learning when to check it down. So I just would have liked to see Bro, you know, just be a little more aggressive in that second half yesterday so that we could get some more points on the board. That's always been my discrepancy with my Niners, with Jimmy playing quarterback. I always felt like the play calling was kind of limited a little bit, and we didn't score nearly as much as what I felt like we could. You know, we almost had 3 receivers go over 1,000 yards this year. Our rookie running back almost went over 1,000 rushing yards despite him missing 3 games. We have crazy talent as far as skill positions on the offensive end, on both the defense and the offensive end. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of, you know, I keep reading, seeing, Debo didn't touch the ball Debo didn't touch the ball from 12 minutes left in the 4th quarter. That's not on Coach Shanahan to get him. That's on Jimmy. Like, what do y'all mean? Coach, he calls the play in. He can't decipher or make decisions for Jimmy. Malik knows once that play clock hits a certain number, that microphone is off and that headset is off in his helmet. So there's no more communication. Every decision after that is on the quarterback. So, again, I'm not going to play the blame game because it's a team game. But I tip my hat, to the Rams. They earned that win. I don't think they're the better team, honestly. They got superstars for sure, but I don't think they're the better team just because I feel like we're a deeper team. But they got us yesterday. So tip our hats to them. I wish we could have went to the Super Bowl. We'll be, like George Kittle said, with a vengeance, especially, after this, how we lost, the season we had, the adversity we had to face. I think we can only grow stronger from it. So, let's just keep building on this. We got a quarterback that's on a rookie contract. We got over $39 million in cap space for this summer. I know we got to throw Debo the bag, but let's shore up that secondary. Let's really make another run at this thing. I feel like we could do something. But yeah, man, yesterday was tough. And real quick, I want to add, Von Miller, Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, they were shooting the gaps. It wasn't, they wasn't trying to rush the quarterback. They were shooting the gaps to stop the run. They prided themselves on stopping the run. So Jimmy had to win that game for it. I know people are going to be like, oh, they didn't really run the ball. No, give credit where credit is due. The Rams prided themselves on wanting to stop. They said, yo, we know what y'all trying to do. Y'all not going to do that to us this time. Jimmy going to have to be there. And that's why I said, I always had confidence in Jimmy, still do. I wish him nothing but success in his future endeavors. But yeah, they forced our hand. They wanted Jimmy to beat them. And, we just couldn't get it done, unfortunately.
There's not really much to talk about. I mean, my team's going to the Super Bowl for the second time in 4 years. It's just a great feeling. I do think the better team won the game. I do think we've been the better team. We've been the best team in our division for some time now. I do quite believe that's why we mortgage our future to build the type of roster that we have so we can win now. It's not about winning in the future. It's actually about winning now. As far as the game goes, I mean, it was a good game. I'm a very emotional tweeter, so I didn't like what I seen early. I seen Odell drop the ball early. McVay, for some reason, like he gets in these games with Shanahan and he doesn't call it the way I would call it. Like it's
felt like his booty hole was tight a little bit.
For sure, Dre. It definitely gets tight. Like it doesn't make any type of sense to me. Normal, regular, like damn near like religious coaching decisions were like not followed, and it just bothered me, early because I seen the game slipping away from us. I know we had like I forget what quarter it was. We had like a 3rd and 1, like right past midfield, and for whatever reason, McVay tries to run this fancy old motion pass that damn near loses his yard. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
that's the one he was like, my bad.
Nah, that was after that. That was that was after that. This was before. This was probably like a possession before or something when we got stopped on 4th down. In those situations, it's already like a yard and a half. Like it's not even really a yard. You know what I'm saying? It's a big yard. So everybody knows in that particular situation, you try to run the ball on 3rd down. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get it, at least you're closer to where you can sneak it, you know what I'm saying, or give it another shot, But this guy wants to get all pretty and run the motion pass and then tries to sneak it on 4th down like it's not a yard and a half. Like QB sneak is a very efficient play, but for a yard and a half when the defense knows it's coming, like, so yeah, I was very emotional, tweeting through most of the game, just because the Niners in the NFL, teams just have matchups. There's just certain matchups that, work in the favor of one team more than the other. And the Niners really have like our number. And they play simple football. I think that's what makes me most mad about it. Normally they're just like Kayvon said, like normally like we're not shooting the gaps, you know what I'm saying? Normally, like we're moving with the flow of the offensive line, you know what I'm saying? And for San Fran, who runs that, you know, that West Coast zone scheme type of running thing, you know what I'm saying? Like all the linemen got to do is just move you a certain way, you know what I'm saying? And you got a wide open hole, you know. So like it always bothered me that we couldn't stop the run versus them in previous games. Like we lost to Nick Mullins before, you know, just because, you know, they could ground and pound and he wasn't dependent on to win the game, you know. So yesterday I was happy that, you know, we stopped the run. You know, that's probably the best game I've watched as a Rams fan as far as us like legit trying to commit to stop the run. Like, you know, I know people pull up other games, but that one was because San Fran wanted to run the ball the whole game, you know, like they never went away from the run game, you know, so to stay locked in on it, make sure you're hitting the gap so they don't just move you one way, you know, we can actually have a chance to stuff it, you know, respecting my guys, you know, it was great to see that. Like I said, I was a little mad about the simple stuff. I figured I'm actually glad they didn't go with Kittle a lot. Like I felt Kittle was the big mismatch, you know, of the game. They had him a few times, you know. I know Jimmy missed him early, and Kittle did score, but I felt like they would go to that, you know, a lot more because, I mean, I know we had Weddle on him, but sometimes those matchups he's get matched up with our linebacker Troy Reader, and he just had a tough ass day yesterday. Like Debo ran him over a few times. Like this is our middle linebacker, you know, so
He's missing tackles and everything. I seen you in the group chat, man. Yeah.
It's just bad, man. It's just bad, you know. But I thought we played a hell of a game, man. That's what we went and got Stafford for, you know, to be able to come back, you know what I'm saying, and put together good, clean fourth quarters like we did. You know, he led us to a couple of scoring drives that we needed, you know, led us to one to tie it up and one to take the lead. You know, that's all you really want out of your quarterback in those situations. Shout out to everybody on the team. You know, I truly think we got one of the better rosters. Before the playoffs started, you know, I talked to my homie Coney. You know, I told him my thoughts on the playoffs. I just felt like we was going to win it. I felt like things were going to fall in place for us, and they actually did. You know, so I'm actually looking forward to this game. Speaking on the Super Bowl, shout out to the Niners, another good hard-fought win. You know, that'll be a battle for years to come. You know, our division is tough. You know, but yeah, I think it was our time. I think it is our time. I think it's, you know, time we win the Super Bowl. It's time I get to see another Super Bowl. I truly can't wait. I'm truly ecstatic because this is super hard to come by. You know what I'm saying? Like, just ask a Cowboys fan that hasn't seen the Cowboys play in the Super Bowl, you know, let alone, you know, talk about, you know, the rings that they have. And another shout out, I want to give a shout out to the whole defense, of course, you know what I'm saying? The offense played well, you know, when we needed to. But shout out to Odell, man. You know what I'm saying? He had over 100 yards receiving, you know what I'm saying, yesterday. I think he had like 9 catches or something like that. He's been getting better every single game, you know what I'm saying? And I'm so glad he picked the Rams. Like, I was glad he picked us anyway because I knew if we could, you know, put him in there as a third option, it would just make us, you know, that much more crazy on the offensive side of the ball. But when Bobby Trees went down, a.k.a. Robert Woods, for people who don't know, when he went down, you know, Odell became like the immediate, like, a piece that has to fit, you know what I'm saying? A piece that has to contribute. And, you know, every single week he has done that, you know what I'm saying? You know, just happy he's been able to change the narrative about himself, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he seems like a good dude. It just seems like he gets a bad rap for being how famous he is and whatnot, you know. But, yeah, you know, shout out to my guys, man. We got one more, you know, hopefully we can pull it in, man. I will not be, you know what I'm saying, around anybody. You know, I'm going to be out of town, you know, so I'm going to enjoy that, you know, a lot, honestly. celebrating it with myself because I think we truly about to win it, man. But yeah, good season to K and them. Shout out to you guys. But the better team's on the way to the Super Bowl, man. I'm sorry, bro. That's just how it goes. Man.
Who you got,
But
K? For the Super Bowl.
I do want to say I do respect the Niners though. Like just last night really put in perspective. Like you just got to play grown man football when it comes. When that game comes up. Because they're not doing nothing special. Like don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything's wrong with Shanahan's scheme or he can't draw it up because he definitely can. But they're really just out physicaling us. You know what I'm saying? That's what it has been. For this 6-game win streak or 7-game win streak, whatever it was up until that point. They were just out physicaling us. Little clever blocking schemes. But as Kay said, as we acknowledge, if you just stay put in those gaps, stop trying to make a play, stay disciplined, you can stuff a lot of that or have a better chance of stuffing a lot of that. But yeah, man. Super Bowl bound. I got the Rams. You don't even need to ask me.
I would.
Yeah, you don't even need to ask me.
K, who you got, K?
Yeah, I mean, I got the Rams. Just from the standpoint, I would like to see somebody from the NFC win. I feel like we have the strongest division in football. I mean, I feel like that's a well-known fact. We just sent 3 teams to the playoffs from our division. So, and he just told y'all, the Bengals don't have a strong offensive line. The Rams have one of the best pass rushing D lines in the league, just best D lines in the league, period. So they're going to have their hands filled here in a couple Sundays. And we're going to see. Also, bro didn't touch on this, but Cooper Kupp is special. I thought we'd be able to contain him. You mentioned the Cowboys. We contained Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb. We contained one of my favorite guys, Devontae Adams. I always grab Devontae in fantasy when I can. But Cooper Kupp, it's like, it's his route running, Malik. Like, he makes everything just look the same, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't give off. He not lazy in his body language, his mannerisms, his breaks. It's like you can't tell which way he about to break. Like that touchdown where where Stafford fit the gap, he fit it behind Ambry Thomas and Tart couldn't jump it in the corner. I want to say maybe that was his first tub, right? But that route was so smooth. And I'm like, dang, bro, why? When it was live, I'm like, bro, why ain't you jumped that? Like, how you ain't, you know what I'm saying? But then when they showed him running around, I'm like, oh, that's why you was a little late because he held you until he made that break. It's just real smart route running because Malik knows he's not the fastest guy, even though his shuttle drills are super, super quick. But that's what sets him apart from a lot of these receivers, man, is how physical he is, how smart he is, but his route running. So I definitely, he brought up Odell, and I appreciate the mutual respect, you know what I'm saying? Because the group chat was getting nasty, like we not that deal, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good. But definitely want to tip my hat to Cooper Kupp because I agree, some people may not have him top 3 league, but he definitely top 5 for sure. You know what I'm saying? He cold. He's so cold.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp nice.
You heard?
What score you got, Leek? Y'all winning. What's the score?
I see us winning by probably like I say 7-10. It can be the 1-score game or a 2-score game or a low 2-score game. I feel like we can win.
What you think, Kay?
Yeah, I got scored 28-17.
28-17.
Yeah.
We shall see. We shall see. We got 2 weeks. 2 weeks until that game. But moving on, we're gonna jump right into NCAA basketball. And we haven't really touched on basketball much. So I'm gonna just hit y'all with the AP poll top 10 in men's basketball. We got Auburn at number 1 We got Gonzaga, at number 2, UCLA at number 3, Purdue at number 4, UK at number 5, Houston 6, Arizona 7, Baylor 8, Duke 9, and Kansas 10. Who are your favorites? What y'all looking at? We probably about midway through the season. Everybody's good and in conference play. Who y'all like?
I like the Tar Heels.
They ain't
I'm a
nowhere
North
near
Carolina
this.
Tar Heel fan.
They ain't nowhere on this list. Nowhere near this list. But
You'll never be able to get me to say I like anybody else when it comes to college basketball. Period. Like Tar Heels are like my favorite sports team ever. Like the very first sports team I ever had. You know what I'm saying? So special place there. But as far as just landscape, what I have seen and paid attention to, I think Auburn definitely has a very good team. Gonzaga,
they 20-1.
Gonzaga has a real good team, but I knew that just based off of seeing, some of their roster. I know they have returned a few pieces as well. So I'm sure they'll be there towards the end. They end of their season is nothing but fine tuning. They be running through their conference schedule. UCLA, I know they still got the I forget how to pronounce his last name, but the Johnny kid that had to run for him last year.
Yeah.
Zuzang or something.
Yeah, Jazang.
Jazang or something. Yeah. I know he's nice. I know he could hoop, you know what I'm saying? So, seeing them at the top, they would only get better. And I guess, who else have I seen that I particularly like? I got to catch Kentucky the other day. And I know they Calipari's, he's got one of those teams where they starting to, click, coming, towards the meat down the end of the schedule, pause, they're starting to click there. So I see Kentucky could be a threat, look like he got him one of them scrappy teams again. And Purdue, I want to give a shout out to Purdue. Purdue is probably like the first team I actually seen play this year, you know what I'm saying? And I like how they play. They nice for real, for real. They can hoop.
Nice, Yeah, Purdue nice.
I have caught Purdue, so I definitely want to give them a shout out. I wish I could get their players a shout out a little more, but they got a solid squad. That's probably the best team I've seen this year. But that's just because I've actually got to sit down and watch them play. You know what I'm saying? And they blew somebody out crazy. It was a rain game too. But yeah, Purdue's nice, you know what I'm saying? So those are probably my top 4 right there, that I like to keep my eyes on. Never going to acknowledge Duke, you know what I'm saying? I don't care how good they are, But they do got a baller that I don't know how to pronounce his name is, like Paolo something, you know what I'm saying? He's good, yeah. But other than that, those teams that I just gave you, Dree, those are the ones that I've actually got to, keep a little tabs on, know a little bit about. Think they got a good chance, you know what I'm saying, come there in March. March Madness is next month, man, you know what I'm saying? So
right around the corner.
It's right around the corner,
It's right around the corner.
They definitely sharpening their skills,
Yeah, everybody's in the meat of their schedule now. Like
that's a fact. And I just want to point out, you know what I'm saying, my Tar Heels are playing better basketball right now. And we do have a better record than a couple of teams I've seen in the top 25. I just want to, put that out. I like to see Marquette's schedule. They got to have a huge win. You know what I'm saying? And Marquette's got like 7 losses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd love to see that. They got to have a huge win somewhere. But yeah, that's what I got for you for college basketball, man. You know what I'm saying?
For
keep
sure.
hooping.
For sure. Some of the favorites that I like, she didn't go past the top 10, but I like Baylor still. I've seen Auburn play Alabama. Alabama got a couple hoopers on the basketball team that I just think
Alabama's cool too, though.
Yeah, like, you remember the Jelly fan from New Jersey?
I know.
Yeah, Javon. Yeah. He played point for Alabama, so And he one of the last and ones that's really out here producing, doing something. You feel me? That's no knock to the Jelly fam. You know what I'm saying? Because I know Hollywood Nas in the league. Um, yeah, Michigan State, Baylor, um, UCLA, like you mentioned, and Auburn. You know, Auburn is tough, man. Shout out to Coach Pearl, changing that program around. Their AD said he the coach for life. Like he not going nowhere. Like he completely revamped that program. You know, like bro said, our Tar Heels, you know, we got one of the best home records in the nation right now. You know what I'm saying? We pretty much unbeatable at the crib. So you know, I like that we getting in the conference play. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can continue to improve and stack the wins, so we can get into that top 25. But I think we gonna make it to the tourney regardless. But I do want to say, you know, this is one of the most interesting years when it comes to, you know, college hoops on both the men's and the women's side. You know, Dree can attest, you know, normally UConn is killing, you know what I'm saying? And that it's been an up and down year for UConn this year. Um,
I'm honestly not surprised. We'll get to it, but
yeah. And then, you know, on the men's side, and Malik can attest to this too, you know, there's some teams that's cracked the top 25 multiple times this year that I know probably caught people off guard, you know what I mean? But um, I think it's good for just basketball as a whole on both the men and women's side to not only give some of these other institutions exposure, but, you know, provide the platform and, you know, also help expose some of these kids that go to these other schools that may not be, you know, super big schools like your UNCs or your Kansas or your Michigan States. You know what I mean? Like for Purdue to be in the top five, that's major for that program. Um, you know, Illinois is still in the top 25. Providence is in the top 25. Like it's some schools that you know you wouldn't normally hear of that's in the top 25. That's really you know. Making a name for themselves this year. So I definitely like what I'm seeing in the hoop circuit, both men and women's for sure. But yeah, look out for our Tar Heels, man, and look out for. And I'm not just saying this. I like how Alabama plays because they play real fast. You know, they either try and cup you or they try and drive and kick. They got one of the top point guards out of the nation on their roster, in J.D. Davison. Malik No, you know, I bang with Javon Quinterly real heavy. He's from Jersey, you know, Jelly fam. Hopefully we can get him on the pod one day. And they got their leading scorer, what's the name, Jalen Shackelford, who's a shooter. You know what I'm saying? So watch out for them. You know, they won the SEC regular season and tournament last year. So, you know, they started off slow this year. You know, they took some L's, but they just beat Baylor this past weekend. So and they play Auburn tomorrow. So we're gonna see if they could pick up that win. They might, and they could finish the week strong. They might be creeping back up to the top 25. And as far as the Dookie fans, you know, as far as us Tar Heels, it's about to be February, so that first matchup is about to happen real soon, like within the next week. You dig and some change. So just keep that in mind.
um, moving on, we got the AP poll for the women. Top 10 is as follows. We got South Carolina, Stanford, NC State, Louisville, Indiana, Michigan, Tennessee, Arizona, Baylor, and then UConn rounding out the top 10. And like I was saying earlier, I'm not really surprised about UConn or South Carolina being at the top. South Carolina returned like a lot of their main contributors from last year, and you know they fell short in the semifinal game and the Final Four, just off of it was basically like a buzzer beater. Um, and Aaliyah Boston is killing it. She's averaging a double double, so it's gonna be really hard for anybody to kind of stop her. And then as far as UConn goes, Paige Beckers went down a little bit earlier in the season, right? So that's 20 plus points right there, and that's kind of hard. That's hard to make up. So not really surprised. They still holding it down though. They still in the top 10, but people are taking advantage of that. And like we talked about earlier, that's just part of the game. Injuries are part of the game. So you kind of got to find your way around that. Um, I mean, other than that, uh, I like NC State too. NC State, they got a good squad. They got a really good squad. They compete, they play hard. They actually got the only other vote besides South Carolina in the AP poll for number one. They sitting at 19-2 right now. Um, Arizona's still up there, who were the national champs last year. So again, like I said, not too surprised about how the standings are sitting right now.
Yeah, I was going to ask about NC State. A lot of those teams you named, you hear them around, what I'm saying, the tops of women's college basketball year in and year out.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying? But I can't ever really remember NC State, what I'm saying, being amongst those teams, So I could be wrong, but that's interesting to hear that they that high.
Yeah, they've been kind of like, it's been gradual. Like they've been good.
Gotcha.
Like they've been
building
gradually.
it.
Yeah, they've been gradually getting better.
Gotcha.
They've been in the top. I feel like they've been in the top 10 for the last couple of years though. But
Okay,
they gradually getting better. Some people to look out for is Georgia. They're always good, and then LSU. They're on kind of a losing streak right now, but I feel like Kim Mulkey going, help them bounce back.
Thank you for bringing up her name, because I was just going to ask you, because she used to be the coach at Baylor, right?
Yeah, Baylor's doing well too still.
Yeah. So, but she doing her thing at LSU, but Baylor is still doing their thing. So,
Right.
I was wondering
Talent-wise.
that would be at a different program, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
Is that the lady that wear the heels?
Yeah. That's the last year I was dying. I think they lost in the Final Four too. Yeah, they lost in the Final Four. And you remember how everybody was wearing a mask during the press conference, and that mask was whooping her ass. Like she had the mask all the way up here. Because it's like they're supposed to call a foul or something. And the reporter is like, did you think it was a foul? And the mask up here, she like, what'd you see? That shit had me rolling. But yeah, so that's women's basketball. And
So
then
you got winning it.
well, I think South Carolina, they're gonna take care of business. Like they're deep, they're tenured, so they got a lot of older folks. I'm not gonna say older folks, but they got a lot of seniors, upperclassmen,
Yeah.
senior and juniors that I think they're hungry. They came back with a vengeance. They mad they lost the way that they did last year. Don Staley gonna have them right up and running. She don't play no games. I went to a game, and she don't really do a lot of yelling or whatever. But when she get up, you already know what time it is. Like, so yeah, she gonna sit there, be cool. Like they got a well-oiled machine going on over there. Like from 1 to 13, everybody know what's going on. Everybody locked in. Everybody focused. So I think it's gonna be. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy, but I think it's
Do
them.
they be bringing in like good recruiting classes and stuff, like top recruiting classes and whatnot?
Yeah. I think they've had like the top. I want to say last year they might have had the top recruiting class, and then this year, this year they'll have the top recruiting class as well.
Gotcha, for sure.
So yeah, they got a lot of good guards and good guard play. And like I said, Aaliyah Boston carrying them, averaging a double-double. She a beast, efficient too. But yeah, with that being said, we're gonna move right on into the NBA, which we're about to hit that midpoint, or we're right there at that midpoint of the season. Um, if we want to just talk top standings right now, we got in the East, we got Miami at number 1, Chicago number 2, Philly number 3, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Toronto, Boston, Atlanta, rounding out the top 10. In the NBA, the top 8 go to the playoffs though. And then in the West, we got Phoenix. I feel like people not talking about Phoenix enough. They 40-9. Golden State, Memphis, Utah, Denver, Dallas, the Clippers, Minnesota, the Lakers, and Portland rounding out the top 10. So your Lakers sitting there right at number 9.
I was about to say we the ninth seed that lost.
Ninth seed at 24 and 24 and 27. So yeah. Who y'all like coming out the East? I'm really surprised that Cleveland. No, I'm really surprised Cleveland is sitting at number 4.
You start out Darius Gardner. That's his name,
Darius
right?
Garland.
Darius Garland. He balling.
The forward, right? He like kind of.
Nah, he played the 1. You talking about Evan Mobley?
Yeah, I'm talking about Mobley. Yeah.
He balling too though. He gonna win Rookie of the Year for sure, probably.
And they got it going on over there.
Yeah, they about to the playoffs. I like what they doing. Shout out to Cleveland, man. Shout out to Cam and Cleveland. Real talk.
Out the East, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and pick KD and them. I guess when the time comes, you know, I'm a trust in KD. You know what I'm saying, doing what he need to do. KD or Giannis and them, you know what I'm saying? I can't really – I like the Heat, you know. I don't know how the Heat, you know, when it comes down to it, like, are they going to be able to score enough points? I mean, I know if you keep a team from scoring a lot, you got a great chance of winning as well. But I don't know. Them Heat teams be so gritty, you know what I'm saying? I don't ever –
they average 104 points a game, 104.5 points a game.
Yeah, they playing good defense for sure. I'm sure they're giving up even less, you know what I'm saying? But that, I don't know. It's just, when playoffs come, you know what I'm saying, there's so much about somebody being able to go get one, you know what I'm saying, like, and just do it consistently and efficiently. Don't get me wrong, Jimmy Butler can hoop, you know what I'm saying, but it ain't always the prettiest looking, you know what I'm saying? So
no, I feel that.
Just based off of that, you know, I'm gonna go with the Nets or the Bucks, you know, to come out the East for me.
I definitely feel that. Playoffs, because it's a series, it oftentimes becomes mano a mano, just because you already know what the team running, and you got to go get a buck, like regardless.
Exactly, you got to go get one.
Well, you got K.
That's
my fault.
Oh no, I was just saying that's me for the East though. Yeah.
I share those same exact sentiments in reference to the Nets and the Bucks, but I'm gonna also say watch out for Philly too, depending on what they can get back for Ben Simmons. Because Joel,
not trading, bro.
I know Leek. Some of the packages they've been declining is wild to me. They're
not trading, bro.
I don't know who they think Ben Simmons is, but I'm not saying that to disrespect Ben. I'm talking about like his trade value. Y'all declining packages when his trade value ain't even that high. You feel me? But if they could pair him with like another formidable star that can go get him one, because Joel Embiid is balling this year. Like he going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to throw that out there and keep them in mind. And the Bulls was balling too before they started dealing with a couple injury problems.
Injuries, yeah.
I know Levine is
I like how the Bulls playing. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust them yet. You know, I got to see it to believe it. But I like how they playing.
I don't trust it either, but they definitely was playing well to start the
season. I'm going to go out on a limb and put the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Final.
Okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb and put them in the Eastern Conference Final. Just by the way they play. If they healthy. I'm going to say it like that. I'm going to add a little, you know, sauce to it. If they healthy, I like them in the Eastern Conference Final. And then I'm not really sold on Brooklyn, man. They ain't figured it out. They're too up and down for me. I'm going to go with Giannis.
It is going to be interesting when Brooklyn and Milwaukee, if they do play each other, how they going to stop Giannis.
Yeah.
They ain't going to stop Giannis. They can't stop Giannis, man.
Yeah, Brooklyn ain't got me sold. So I'm gonna go with Giannis and the Bucks.
And I know KD gonna go get 40, so
in the Eastern Conference Final.
They're gonna have to work for it.
I mean, they just thinking back to that playoff game, that playoff series last year, it's just like KD. I mean, he was going to get it, but he just looked gassed. You know what I'm saying? He really wasn't. He really ain't. I ain't gonna say he had no help. Yeah, he really had no help.
And that
And
joint still came down to a game 7 down to the wire. With him just juicing it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but Harden was hurt too last playoffs, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kyrie not being there, Yeah, for sure. I'm just going off of
talent wise, I see it.
just
I
what I
see it,
know.
but team wise, I ain't so.
I know KD gonna go get one. I'm a
100%.
It's gonna be a tough matchup for whoever got to guard him in the playoffs. Period.
100%. So for the West, who y'all got?
Man, I don't have anybody else right now but the Suns and the Warriors. I think they are on a ride to face each other, a head-on collision. And 100%. But hopefully, my Lakers can make a move around the deadline. Excuse me. I'm not trying to manifest anything. I'm not trying to attack anybody. You feel me? I just want us to make a little move to see, what we could do. LeBron's been hurt these past couple games. That's why we kind of been sliding in the standings a little bit. He got to get his knee drained. I know yesterday he went back to Cali to get his knee drained because we played in Atlanta. But, AD was looking real good. He had 31 against Joel last week. Russ, thankfully, he has improved on the turnovers and he's been playing really well. He had like 35 Friday night against Charlotte. Almost won the game for us, man. He had like 20 plus in the second half. Like he was going crazy. Almost hit the game winner. But yeah, those my two. Like it ain't. If my Lakers can't make a move, then okay. But unless the Clippers have something to say, you know what I mean? Because Kawhi still hasn't played, and I like, even though that's the other LA team, I do like their roster how it was constructed. But as of right now, as it currently stands, the Warriors and Suns are on the collision course. Like it's CP3 is hooping, man. Like he's looking timeless.
Didn't he get snubbed too?
For
an All-Star?
He didn't make the reserve list?
I don't think so.
He made a reserve. He's just not a starter, I don't think.
Okay, yeah.
But that brings me to mind, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just a LeBron fan, you know what I'm saying? I don't have no team. So, of course, I want the Lakers to make a surge. Hopefully they can do that. But just based off right now what I see, I like the Suns and the Warriors, I mean, they're playing the best basketball out there, if you ask me, for sure. I like the Grizzlies to make a little noise too. I think they can make a little noise in the playoffs. I just like how they play. You know what I'm saying? They're young, real scrappy.
Ja's on the turn too.
Yeah, Ja playing like that. I just like the Grizzlies, so I would like to see them make a little run. If the Lakers ain't gonna do anything, I'm gonna hitch my. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hitch on the day bandwagon right there. Those are probably the tops for me out there.
Yeah, the Suns for sure. I'm just like confused on why they ain't getting as much airtime. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, they sitting at 40-9. Suns for sure.
I don't think they got enough star power for real.
I was just about to say that, Lee.
Yeah, I don't think it's just not enough star power. Like Devin Booker's good, you know what I'm saying? But like how he plays, you know what I'm saying? Like I know everybody likes to call him like, baby Kobe and whatever they got going on with those, you know what I'm saying? But it's just not the same, you know what I'm saying? He does have a real clean, polished game, you know what I'm saying? And
so you don't
also,
think CP good enough?
I was about to say Chris Paul teams aren't the best to watch either, to be honest with you, dating back to his New Orleans, like the latter part of his New Orleans days were fun to watch him, Tyson Chandler, David West, you know what I'm saying? They were such underdogs, and then probably those early Clipper years with the Lob City, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of CP3 controls the game so much, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of him just dribbling, you know what I'm saying, quarterbacking people where to go, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're into that, those real basketball heads are into that, you know what I'm saying, watching the moving pieces and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? But as far as getting people in the seats, flashy stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the Suns really provide that. I think they just provide like a solid, product. You know what I'm saying? Almost like the Spurs. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel like
But at
they
least
like that too, though.
But at least the Spurs, you know what I'm saying? At least people was hitched on to the big three when they had it. You know what I'm saying? Timmy, Tony, and Manu. You know what I'm saying? At least people was intrigued by, some Kawhi drama. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, it fell off. You know what I'm saying? Them not getting too many televised shit. But I just don't think it. I just think it's star power. To be honest with you, why the Suns ain't really all the way out there yet. Yeah, they do got some studs, but I don't think they like the flashy put people in the seats type. You know what I'm saying? I think they just a real solid team, man.
Yeah, they gritty.
100%. Yeah, I think they're fine with that too. Like I think they're fine with
100%,
having that limelight because they get to like kind of grind in the dark, and then when playoffs
you get to have a 40-9 record and people still doubt you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. And Dre, you touched on it last year in the playoffs, if you recall correctly. You talked about what's the name, Devin Booker. You say he don't really have a crazy bag. He get to his spots real well, which I agree. And Malik was just touching on that. Like, he not gonna pick you up, but he gonna get to his spots. And he gonna hit that Jimmy. I do like this game for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro hit it right on the head. Yeah, they not flashy at all. You know what I'm saying? And Chris Paul, just how he run the offense to piggyback on bro said, like he running the offense to get that dime. Like he want that assist.
Yeah, he leading the league in assists right now.
Yeah.
I think it's like 10.4 or something like that.
See how that fares for them in the playoffs, man, because he definitely is very ball dominant. So
facts.
Yeah, it's just not always depending on the matchup, it's not always the best watch, man. You don't want to watch Chris Paul pound it that many times versus the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not something I want to enjoy. Yeah, it's not something I want to watch. I can do without.
No, I feel that. Hey, well, that's my agenda.
Good first episode back, man. Glad to be back with y'all.
For sure. Missed y'all guys, man. I missed y'all guys. We gotta link up real soon.
Got more coming, man. Next time we talk. Actually, no.
For sure.
It won't be the next time. We got 2 weeks to the Super Bowl.
2 weeks to the Super Bowl. Next week we got the Pro Bowl. I don't know if y'all really concerned about that too much, but hey, it's an event.
I like watching the games, the games they play, you know what I'm saying, more than the actual Pro Bowl game. They got little fun games they set up for them to play, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me
too. Before. I think those are pretty interesting.
It should be a good month. We got the All-Star game coming up. The NBA All-Star game in Cleveland. That's different, but I'm sure a lot of people from the city, a lot of folk from the city gonna try to slide to Cleveland. You know what I'm saying?
People travel for NBA All-Star weekend, man. It's like
different. It's gonna be cold, so wear your furs. Yeah. Wear your big jackets. And yeah, hopefully we can launch the next podcast, Double OG podcast, here soon. We got something in store for y'all. But yeah, Kay, take us out.
Yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. I missed y'all too. We definitely back at y'all. Weekly consistent content. We got more interviews coming for y'all soon. And we just want to thank y'all, for those that have been asking, those that have been catching up on the episodes, tapping in with us, checking on us. We just want to say we love and appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? Shout out to Leek. Shout out to Dree. Rest in peace, Trayton. I love you, boy. And we out, man. It's CSN The Network Podcast, man.
We out.